in with some breaking news. It's been out for a couple of hours. We had a mass shooting in the Winder, Georgia area. Two students and two teachers were killed in a mass shooting at Apache High School in Winder, Georgia, according to the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Director Chris Hosey. 9 people were hospitalized, the Bureau said. The suspect, a 14-year-old at Apache High School, will be charged with the murder and will be handed charges down and will be handled as an adult as he moves through the criminal justice system, authority says. The high school received a phone call this morning warning there will be shootings at 5 schools and that Apache would be the first of numerous mass shootings. Now, I don't know what the police were at when that shit happened. They should have been on all protocols when stuff like this be happening. Hey, Valex Prime Sports, how you doing? And this just goes to show you, we living in a time in the United States of America. You got this whole debacle of the presidential debate going on with Shang Tsung, Kamami Harris, and the Orange Man Donald Trump. They going back and forth. Niggas lying about where they from, and you just got people on both sides just really making asses of themselves, not really putting the country first by, basically ain't doing right by Black Americans. And this is just another situation that doesn't really surprise me because, we're living in a time in a country right about now where illegal aliens can come into the country and take over apartment complexes in Colorado. And, you know, this year has been, it's just been all over the place. You got legends dying. You got, kids trying to do different things and trying to qualify themselves of being something different. But, this mass shooting doesn't surprise me. I just hate that people lost their lives and, they got to be scared and be fearful of going to school and being on edge, knowing one day, if not today or any other day after this, somebody could just snap and run up into a school and kill, innocent people, unjustly. Yes, sir. It's very crazy out here. We living in a dangerous and evil world. So, I protect myself at all times, especially with me being a Black American. And we always the easiest targets. Folks out here don't want to see Black Americans specifically do anything. They don't want us to see. They don't want to see us, get our just due, which is our 40 acres in the mural, which is our reparations, cash payments, or even get a anti-Black American hate crime bill. But this whole situation really could have been avoided if they took the necessary precautions of actually having people at these schools to protect these kids. And, when it comes to people, running up into schools, it should be you know, you shouldn't really play with certain people like that. If they can run up into school and kill innocent people, then you should use all your energy and resources to neutralize people like that and to get them under control. Because, you see people running up into grocery stores because we dealt with that in Buffalo a couple of years ago. White supremacists out here, little fuckers out here killing unarmed Black people. They pick them as the easiest targets and they'll run up into schools and even kill your own damn children. That's how crazy and psychotic this war has gotten, and I protect myself by any means necessary. I'm pro Second Amendment, especially for our people when it comes to these white supremacists, these crooked cops out here killing people, especially Black people unjustly. I just hate that these kids had to lose their lives, and you got to watch out for certain kids nowadays, man. They real smart. A lot of these people have been indoctrinated with white supremacy and have been brought up by their parents, their grandparents, and other things to be little evil creatures. But let me keep on with this story. The high school received a phone call this morning warning there would be shootings at 5 schools and that Apache would be the first. So they had numerous targets of different schools that they was going to hit. So you had at least numerous other people who are suspects in this situation, but they caught this little fucker, the 14-year-old suspect, which I will get to in a couple of minutes. They caught this little evil bastard before he could do more damage. And in my opinion, they should give this little fucker the death penalty. Because if you can be out here killing people unjustly and be trying to get away with it, let alone trying to get caught and trying to get the, wishy-washy, oh, he didn't know any better, he was going through something, he was off his medication. You see, you can't be playing with motherfuckers like that when they be doing crazy crap like this in these schools, let alone even on your job site. You know, it's real hard out here for kids to actually try to grow up in a society nowadays where shit is just out of control and off balance. But a lot of these people in society, they give them, you know, they give them, passes. But when it comes to a black person or even a kid crossing the street and allegedly jaywalking, you'll have 4 or 5 police officers and SWAT team members trying to suplex your damn kids on the grounds at school. But when it comes to these white kids and these other people running up into schools killing people, they trying to play patty cake with them. All right, Apache high school students say that they were still processing today's tragedy when a 14-year-old criminal allegedly opened fire and killed 4 people. It has been pretty difficult because, like a lot of things happen in a kind of short period of time, Jaden Finch told CNN News it was kind of hard to process. Jada said he was in a classroom near where the shooting happened. He said his class was having presentations when a lockdown notification appeared on a television in his classroom. It was just saying silence, and then you can hear gunshots, and everyone just run to the ground and just run to the corner, Jaden said. Zaira Finch recalled how her teacher had left her classroom to get papers from a printer in a different room, and that another teacher was supervising the class. She and her classmates were directed to go to a closet while really loud shots rang out. Zariah said. Nicholas Criswell also described the noise of gunshots. He said the sound was similar to a person just banging on the door. Nicholas said his teachers were a little bit panicked, but got them into a corner and followed the procedures of a drill. He recalled hearing scuffling feet and things like that, and then shouting before police evacuated students out of the building. Georgia lawmakers say that we're praying for families after horrific tragedy at Winder High School. Georgia lawmakers are reacting to the latest school shooting in the United States. A gunman opened fire at Apache High School in Winder, Georgia on Wednesday, killing 4 people. Georgia Democratic Rep. Lucy McBath said she is praying for the students in the community, according to a post on X. Yeah, I ain't finna keep reading through all this extra shit these Republicans and Democrats are talking about. We have prioritized. We have authorized and prioritized making significant investments in mental health and school safety funding. And while there will be a time and a place for policy discussions, our sole focus right now remains on surrounding these students, teachers, and families with our love and support, he said in a statement. What we know so far about the shooting at Apache High School: 4 people were killed and 9 were hospitalized after a shooting at a Georgia high school on Wednesday morning, officials said. The suspected gunman is in custody and was identified as a 14-year-old student of Apache High School in Winder, Georgia, a community about an hour outside of the Atlanta area. Law enforcement are still investigating the shooting and motive behind it. Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith warned that it could take multiple days to get answers. Yeah, they had numerous people authorizing these mass shootings when it comes to the suspect. He definitely had friends in other schools that they got together and wanted to do this. Half of these mass shootings be like Call of Duty. A lot of these kids have psychiatric problems about them. They be outcast. They don't be having no friends. Next thing you know, they get their daddy's gun and just start going crazy, running up into schools and killing people unjustly. Let me see. The suspected shooter and the victims, 2 students and teachers, were killed. GBI Director Chris Hosey said the suspected shooter has been identified as 14-year-old Colt Gray. Jose said, and he will be charged with the murder and he will be tried as an adult. Investigators have spoken to the suspected shooter and have been in touch with his family, Smith said. There is no known connection between the suspected shooter and the victims, according to Smith, but Hosey added the investigation is still ongoing. The timeline: the sheriff's deputy received the first reports of the shooting around 10:20 a.m., according to Hosey. Law enforcement arrived shortly after those first classes and first calls. Excuse me, those first calls. Let me correct myself. Hosey said in addition to two school resources officers who was assigned to Apache High School. The resource officers confronted the shooter, who immediately surrendered to these officers, and he was taken into custody. See, that's what I don't like, man. You mean to tell me this motherfucker can kill 4 people and injure 9 other people without y'all doing y'all job of getting rid of the threat? See, I don't like that. See, they let these damn suspected shooters get away with certain shit like this. So you mean to tell me they can run up into a school and kill innocent people and they don't get shot not now goddamn time unless they gonna kill themselves? See, I don't like that, man. When they have a threat, you have to neutralize it by any means necessary, because you mean to tell me this little bastard can be up in here killing people and injuring other people without getting shots like put into his body? Like it don't make no damn sense, man. It don't make no damn sense. Then you be having people sympathizing with these crazy ass shooters. Well, he was an outcast. See, that's why he did it. See, he wasn't loved by his family members and his friends. See, y'all didn't pay attention to him. No, fuck that, man. Y'all need to give them the life sentences and the death penalties like y'all be giving these people who ain't even committing crimes of that significance. But when it's a black person out here doing shit like that to the less significance, y'all want to give them a damn life sentence. But when it's people like this doing crazy shit like that in certain environments, y'all don't want to say nothing. What's up, Q Smooth? How you doing, man? I hope everybody's out there staying safe, staying strapped, of course. Making sure you practicing your Second Amendment rights, because we living in strange times right now. You got illegal aliens from all over the world coming into the country, Venezuelans taking over apartment complexes. A lot of people just out here doing crazy type shit, man. You got crooked ass cops out here still trying to kill people, black people specifically, and just trying to just be the most dirtiest, just scandalous pieces of crap under a badge in a uniform. But this situation with this mass shooting, they saying this is the 45th mass shooting of the year 2024, and we'll definitely have some more by the end of this year. I hate to say that though, but you out here dealing with crazy people, and the police ain't gonna protect you. So you gotta protect yourself, your kids, and your loved ones by any means necessary, in the words of the late great Malcolm X, who was a revolutionary and was I wouldn't say he was beyond his years and beyond his decades, because the same crap we're going through right now, the same thing him and the brothers and sisters were dealing with during the whole civil rights, era. And I do have to say salute to the real on code brothers and sisters from back in the day, because we getting a lot of biscuit crumb eating Negroes out here that can't even stand up on their own 2 feet, let alone wipe their own ass when it comes to the Black American community not getting their just due. You got all these other people out here getting benefits and tangibles, but when it has stuff like this happening, they don't want to handle their situation, let alone give black people or any other people within the Black American community tangibles. You got to jump through loops and holes to get something. But let me get back to the story. You see, the resource officers confronted the shooter. Okay, I already read that. One student, Leah Sarata, said the suspected shooter left the classroom at the beginning of their Algebra 1 class. I probably mispronounced her last name. I'm kind of tongue-tied when it comes to these crazy names. She said that the suspected shooter left the classroom at the beginning of her Algebra 1 class. When the suspect returned near the end of the class, he knocked to get in the back. Another student went to open the door, but Layla said they noticed the gun and didn't open the door. I'm glad they didn't open that damn door. I'm glad they did open that damn door, because he would have killed all them people, all those damn kids in the room if they opened the door, and it would have been more deadlier, and we would have had more victims due to this coward. Yeah, Colt Gray, a little white supremacist. Colt Gray is the suspect of this mass shooting that we have in the wider Georgia area. I'm glad that they didn't open the door. She said the shooter went to the classroom next door and opened fire. The response: the FBI and the ATF were on the scene working with local and state officials. Attorney General Merrick Garland said, when the shooting happened, all schools in the district were placed in lockdown, and police were sent out of a ambulance of a abundance of caution to all district high schools. There were no reports of secondary incidents or scenes, law enforcement sources told CNN. Okay, that's good. Apache High School received a phone threat earlier this morning warning that there would be shootings at 5 schools and that Apache would be the first. Multiple law enforcement officials told CNN schools in the county would be closed for the rest of the week while the investigation plays out, said Dallas Leduff, the superintendent of the Barrow County school system. Watch all watch as all students are escorted out of the Apache High School after mass shooting. Law enforcement officials escort students out of Apache High School in Wanda, Georgia, following the mass shooting Wednesday that left 2 students and 2 teachers dead, according to the authorities. Students says that gunman tried to get into classroom but was denied by classmate. Gunfire was heard moments later. All right, I already read that. I guess he saw we weren't going to let him in, and I guess the classroom next to me, their door was open, so I think he just started shooting in the classroom. Leah told CNN News. Leah said the students in her classroom hid behind desks as they heard gunshots, which she describes as just one after another. When we heard it, most people just dropped to the floor and like kind of crawled in the area, like piled up on top of each other. The student turned off all the lights, but we were all just kind of piled together in like our push desk in front of us. Leah said her friend was in the classroom next to her where the shooting was taking place. He was pretty shaken up, she said, of her friend. He saw somebody get shot. He had blood on him. He was kind of limping. He looked horrified. Leader described Colt as quiet and shy and would only respond with a single word answers when they worked as a group on projects together. She was talking about the suspect who did the mass shooting. Today Georgia shooting is the 45th school shooting in the United States this year. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to take care of something. The Wanda, Georgia shooting was the 45th school shooting so far in 2024, according to a CNN news analyst. Of the 45 school shootings this year, 32 shootings have been reported on K through 12 campuses, and 13 of the shootings on university and college campuses. Wednesday's shooting is the deadliest so far this year and is one of the 11 school shootings, with 4 or more deaths since 2008 when CNN first started tracking school shootings. 8 of those were on K through 12 campuses, and the other 3 were on college/university campuses. Yeah, man, I had to block some crazy ass dude in the comment section, so he has been banished to the shadow realm, never to be returned again. This is no time for trolling or talking fucking stupid. This is a dangerous situation that can be a life or death moment for these students, let alone for other people within the United States of America. So I don't have time to be dealing with stupid ass trolls. Hey, you Sick Knight, how you doing, brother? Glad to see you in the building. I hope you're doing good. Last year, there were 82 U.S. school shootings, a record since at least 2008, where CNN analysts began. Of those in 2023, 52 shootings were reported on K 12 campuses and 30 on university and college campuses. CNN defines school shootings as shootings that involve at least one person being shot, excluding the shooter. The shooting must also occur on school property, which includes but is not limited to buildings, fields, lots, stadiums, and buses. Donald Trump says our hearts are with the victims after Georgia school shooting that left at least 4 people dead. Yeah, this is very tragic on Keith Moon. That's why I say y'all need to protect yourselves at all times. Practice your Second Amendment rights and make sure that you and your family members are trained to go in dire, dangerous situations. Cause we living in the wild, wild west. It's definitely red done out here. It's the purge out here, all in one. You got a lot of evil people out here in this world, and they'll do anything, and I do mean anything to pick a victim out, or just pick a they'll just pick an area out where innocent people are at, and they don't have the rights or the means to protect themselves. Authorities said the suspected gunman was a 14-year-old student at the high school's Trump's running mate JD Vance posted on his um X X account, which I call a Twitter account, because they just keep changing these apps into different names, calling this shooting an incident of despicable violence just days into the new school year. We are keeping the victims, their families, and the whole community of Winder, Georgia in our prayers this evening, Vance said on X/Twitter. This post has been uploaded and updated with JD Vance's post on X. School resource officer engaged the shooter and took him into custody, Chef said. They should have shot his ass, man. Fuck taking him into custody, neutralize his ass, man. This man was this little bastard was a serious threat, and this dude get the chance to still be on this earth breathing, man. Obviously, the shooter was armed, and our school resource officer engaged him at the our school resource officer engaged him, and the shooter quickly realized that if he did not give up, it would be the end of him. An officer involved shooting, he gave up, got on the ground, and the deputy took him into custody, Smith said. No one connected between suspected shooter and victim, sheriff said, allegedly. Officers are not aware of any connection between the suspected shooter and the victims, the sheriff said at the news conference on Wednesday. None that I'm aware of, Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith said in response to a question from a reporter on whether there was a prior connection. Law enforcement said previously the suspected shooter is a student at Apache High School. Chris Hosley, the director of the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, said that part of this investigator is still looking into every aspect of the individual, his connection here at the school. Let me see. Investigators have interviewed the student accused of killing four at high school, Seb said. They've spoken to the 14-year-old Savage, and he is responsible for killing four people on Wednesday, which is today, at the Apache High School, according to Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith. He said officials have been in touch with the alleged shooter's family as well, but did not provide details. Hate will not prevail in this country, Seth said. Well, hate will prevail in this country because white supremacists still out here doing white supremacist shit, talking white supremacist talking points. And you even have illegal aliens of all different forms of life in all different environments coming from South America, Central America, Mexico, the continent of Africa, Latin America, the Caribbean, Asia, Europe, all over the place, coming into the United States of America and practicing white supremacy and still trying to bring that hatred and that bullshit over here that they've been having justified in their country. But a lot of these people don't fight in their countries. They want to come to America and make shit, 100 times much worse. But once you got a vice president who's like a dodo bird, who always have her saying, who always have her head into the goddamn sand, and don't want to answer the hard questions, you're gonna get shit like this happening instead of just laying the smack it down on these school shooters. But this just goes to show you that we're living in hard times and we're just living into kangaroo court. Hey, 225 girl, how you doing, sister? Glad to see you in the building. Matter of fact, you did donate to me last time. I'm gonna add you as a moderator. Let me see. You have been promoted as a moderator, 225 girl. Use your responsibilities as like superpowers from a Spider-Man comic book. With great power comes great responsibility. Thank you for being in here. Thank everybody for coming into the space. Thumbs up the video if you haven't already. Most of the time I don't get a lot of people into my spaces, but besides that, I do want to thank y'all for coming into the space. Let me see. They just got different timelines of the mass shooting and the people talking about what happened. Interviewing students. Soon, officials expected to give update on Apache High School shooting. That was 3 hours and 35 minutes ago, so that's old. Don't give a fuck about Kamala Harris. Don't want to even hear her word salad. Don't want to even hear what the hell she has to say. Really don't give a fuck what she has to say or comment about. Cause she's the type of person that won't even answer the hard questions when she's even in her interviews. But that's another story for another day. Let me see. Some students who were in the building during the shooting at Apache High School on Wednesday described their experiences to CNN News. Speaking at a rally in New Hampshire Wednesday, okay, I don't want to read that. Calling for an action to curb gun violence. It's just outrageous that every day in our country, in the United States of America, that parents have to send their children to school worried about whether their children will not be coming home alive. We got to stop it, she said, adding that it doesn't have to be this way. Ugh. I'm just going through all this word salad she was saying. I'm gonna just skip all that. Let me see. Yeah, it went up. I ain't even want to even say what the hell Sing Sun Harris had to even say. Some students who were in the building during the shooting at Apache High School today described their experiences to CNN. When it happened, I entered the classroom and then we were like, then they were for like second period, so it was like during the middle of it, and I heard screaming and everything. Janice Martinez said. Martinez literally thought someone was playing around in the hallways or something. Excuse me. I thought it was just like someone just yelling or something, so I didn't think much of it. But then she noticed that the noises kept getting louder and louder, and I was like, no, no, guys. Like I told everybody to get down, because like you don't joke around like that. Martinez added that when she got to a corner, she witnessed some girls crying and that the teacher was shaking. I was like, no, it's gonna be okay, because if you tell yourself it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Eventually, she said that the authorities came in and took them out of the classroom and onto the field. Another student, Alexandria Romero, said she could hear the gunshots from afar as they got louder, and school announced that it was on lockdown, and she and her classmates remained in the classroom for about 10 minutes until they were evacuated by the authorities. Um, Julie Sandoval said she heard five gunshots right next to her. A series of loud bangs like heavy books falling several times in a row. She and some of her classmates hid in the corner until police came into the room. I started shaking a lot, and that's when I started crying as well. I was trying to text a lot of my friends, but unfortunately, everything was down. Sandoval told CNN. She said she was worried about her sister, who was also a student at the school. Sandoval texted her parents to let them know that she loved them. Yeah, they got like numerous text messages of one of the students texting her parents about the situation. Eric Clark, who was at work Wednesday morning, she got a series of texts from her son who was at the Apache High School when the mass shooting happened. He said that school shooting is happening. I'm scared, please. I'm not joking. And his mom was talking about, I'm leaving work. I love you. I love you too, baby. Where are you? At the class. Someone's dead. I just saw the ambulance and police heading that way. Clark told CNN her son, who is a senior at the high school, heard 8 to 9 gunshots before he closed his classroom door. He and another classmate moved chairs and tables to block the door. The mother said she and other parents were not allowed to drive on the road to the high school, so they parked down the street and walked. Once we got to the school, they directed us to go to the football field to meet our kids. Clark and CNN, no, Clark told CNN, she later found Ethan safe by the bleachers. She and CNN, she told CNN she was absolutely terrified when she read her son's messages and that she kept praying that he was safe. Clark said she was in complete shock that this was actually happening. I'm not really shocked that mass shootings like this happen within the United States of America, or stuff like this happen not only in the United States but all over the world. So, you just got to be prepared and be on point when stuff like this happen. And it's just real sad that you know, stuff like this happen all the time, and you just got cowards just taking their hatred and just taking the vitriol of just running it up into schools trying to kill innocent people. if you're gonna be out here doing stuff like that, you need to be bringing it to the true enemies, which is the white supremacists within the United States of America, let alone around the world. See, they bring their energy and bring their hatred towards people who haven't done anything to them, but they ain't bringing that real smoking that real hatred to the people who actually causing them harm and doing the fuckery out here every day within the United States of America. Should have believed to be 14 years old, law enforcement sources says. Okay, I already read that. I don't want to hear about creepy Joe Biden. He's been somewhere on a beachfront just pooping in his pants and getting a bad suntan. But he he's liable to go into a 6 month sleep, and that he's liable to go into a coma before he say something real positive about this situation. But he really doesn't have anything to bring to the table. He's not the president anymore on paper, allegedly. Adult with gunshot wound in minor a adult with gunshot wound in minor with unspe- unspecific injuries being treated at Athens Hospital, sources says. The Piedmont Athens Regional Hospital in North Georgia has received two victims from the shooting in Apache High School. A source with knowledge of the situation who is not authorized to speak to the media tells CNN. One victim is an adult with a gunshot wound to the stomach who is currently in surgery. The source says that another victim is with minor and unspecified injuries. I'm just reading some more of the stories coming from different places. The Democrats have nothing to say with Sonya. The Democrats have nothing to say on Sonya Massey, but I digress. I'm tired of these politicians with the thought and prayer speech. Enforce some actual gun policies, but we know why that won't happen. Yeah, when you have illegal aliens owning all types of guns, I can't really say that, the American citizens who don't do anything and just try to make a dollar out of 15 cents and practice their Second Amendment rights. It's certain things that certain people shouldn't own, but I want to take their Second Amendment rights away from them because when you out here living in a when you out here living in not a fair world, and when you have evil people out here that can get access to different types of guns, let alone knives, or let alone even types of explosives, you can kill people with your bare hands, let alone with anything else in the world. So it should be certain limitations on certain things, but certain things like this can definitely be prevented. But they just got to be on point when it comes to these, behavioral problems with these mass shooters, and they definitely can see and analyze these people's social media accounts, but they just wait till the last minute to point to the wrong direction. They don't really want to point to the main thing that's going on within the United States of America. They just go into opposite directions. So, it's just the same shit every day. And in my opinion, I suggest that everybody, get the protection that you need for your family members and teach your kids how to defend themselves, because we definitely can see that law enforcement is working, real well in Colorado. They got the whole illegal immigrant crisis situated. The border is definitely secured thanks to Shang Sun Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party. But that's another story for another day. Just a lot of it's the same shit every day. I try to go to work and pray to God that I make it home. So I can just get into my bed and just go to sleep. I prepare for the worst and just wait till something bad happen, because you know stuff like this is going to keep constantly happening until changes are definitely made. Just like with the whole police qualified immunity situation, police officers are still going to be out here killing people unjustly, still going to be out here racially profiling people, specifically Black Americans, and just going to be out here practicing white supremacy. And this 14-year-old suspect, you know um sorry about that, y'all give me a couple of seconds. I gotta go to the other page. Trying to find this little fucker's name because I just said it a couple minutes ago. Yeah, Jaden Finch. This a young man right here, a young brother right here. He was getting interviewed by CNN News, and he said that it was kind of hard to process because you don't expect that to happen in a school, let alone anywhere where children should be learning and try to get an education. But under the system of white supremacy, they'll just teach your kids anything. But he shouldn't have to go to a school and be fearing for his life while people can come into the school and just kill people unjustly. But it's just the same shit, different toilet every day. We had a lot of mass shootings where people are just praying for change, and people are just out here trying to just hold hands and just be kumbaya with everybody. Trying to find this little fucker's name, but let me just Google search it. But like I said earlier, me as a Black American, I suggest that all my brothers and sisters out there, practice your Second Amendment rights and prepare for the worst, because this country is just falling to the ground. You got a whole massive floodgate of illegal aliens coming into the country getting benefits. As you can truly see in the state of California, they giving them motherfuckers $150,000 to buy new homes, zero down payment, zero interest. They giving illegal aliens, our tax dollars and sending billions and billions and trillions of dollars to these foreign countries while they're fighting civil wars. They don't have shit to do with Americans, specifically Black Americans, because we're fighting our own fight in the United States of America, dealing with these, male creatures and these, suspected, Black people that's out here hating on their own people, trying to block reparations bills, not trying to get an anti-Black American hate crime bill. You got niggas in the Congressional Black Caucus out here not trying to bring specific changes to the Black American community. They out here having dual allegiances, being tethers, being, people of not the Black American lineage, being foreigners, being just different people from different backgrounds, not trying to bring nothing to the table besides just trying to fatten their pockets. Let me see. All right. Trying to see if any more updates is happening with this situation, because it's being updated constantly while we're talking. And if y'all can thumbs up the video, it'll very much help the live stream. If y'all can thumbs up the video, we got 5 people in the building. Tell me what y'all think about this situation, in the comments. I do want to hear from y'all and y'all perspective of this whole situation. I do want to say rest in peace to the victims who was tragically taken away from their family members and their loved ones due to this 14-year-old piece of shit who was running up into the school and just killing people unjustly. But it just goes to show you that suspects like Colt Gray can just run up into schools and kill people unjustly, and they can get arrested without getting, neutralized in certain situations. But 10 times out of 10, if this was a Black teenager or a Black suspect, most likely they would have shot his ass 50 to 100 times, let alone would have even gave him a chance to surrender. But, to each his own. To each his own. Live updates. Coach Grace, suspected shooter in Georgia high school shooting. This was 11 minutes ago. This coming from CNN News. Thank y'all for thumbs up in the video too. And if y'all can share it out on all your social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook. Definitely want to get the algorithm out there as soon as possible. No, I don't want to hear about the 2024 presidential race. Whole kangaroo court show right there. Let me look this little bastard's name up. See any extra information on this little fucker, Colt Gray. I don't know if they got a picture out of him already, but I'm gonna see if I can find one or Google search it. Let me just open up another page. Hey USN, how you doing? First time I ever seen you in the space. Thank you for coming in. Thumbs up the video if you haven't already, and share the video out with your friends, loved ones, and other family members. Colt Gray, Georgia. Let me see if I can find a picture of this little fucker. Yeah, they probably have a picture out on him very soon. Shout out to my brother Kid Gravity Beyond. Y'all go subscribe to his channel. That's an on code black first, brother right there. Oh, what's up, man, Rose? How you doing, man? I ain't know who you was, man. I couldn't recognize you. Glad to see you in the building, brother. Glad to see you in the building. I might do a Twitter space about this, for a couple of minutes and just talk about this whole situation. Cause you got everybody else talking about different things that don't have nothing specifically to do with certain things of any importance in these Twitter spaces. But besides that, they got a picture of this little bastard. Let me see if I can save it to my screen. Allegedly of Colt Gray. Let me just correct this. Just save it. Jakey on X. This is Colt Gray. He is trans. Update once again, not Colt Gray. Allegedly. Ain't even gonna put this dude's picture up because I don't want to put out any false information. I'm glad it wasn't nobody black because usually the news is quick to put out a name when it involves us. Yes, you're right. 225 girl, you definitely right, sister. Because if this would have been a black person that did this shit, even a tether, they would have tried to put that on black folks. Like these niggas is crazy. We need to have more gun laws. We don't need these niggas owning guns, but all these white supremacist extremist groups can own all types of guns, assault rifles, all types of semi-automatic, full auto shotguns. They can own all type of shit. But when black folks practice their Second Amendment rights, y'all just want to start acting stupid. Gun control. We need to do this. We need to do that. These niggas can't be owning guns. I don't even want these niggas owning knives, let alone brass knuckles. These niggas don't need to be owning pepper spray. They don't need to be. They don't even need to be having salt and pepper shakers in their houses. They probably come out with a picture later on of this little bastard because I didn't want to put this picture out if this wasn't the suspect. Let me see if I can get some more information from Yahoo. Yeah, give me a couple of seconds. Shout out to you, Melrose Radio. I'll probably do a little quick Twitter space about this situation. Then I'm gonna take my ass to sleep because I'm trying to make it to Friday, even though I get paid tomorrow. But excuse me, still gotta go to work and slave over a plantation. No, I don't want to hit a video. I gotta be careful with these videos, man. I ain't trying to get a copyright claim. Let me just pause it. They definitely would have had our black ass all over the news. They would have had our mugshot picture out there, our baby pictures. They would have had our parents on there for 5 seconds trying to explain, like, he's a good kid. He didn't mean to do it. They would have went back to a commercial break. They wouldn't even gave us a chance to explain ourselves. Ugandan Olympian set on fire by her boyfriend after running at the Paris Games. Oh, yeah, I did hear about that, man. That's some crazy shit, man. I'm gonna need some of you tethers from the tether community to get this situation straight, because y'all out here burning y'all own people and they representing y'all country. But it just goes to show you all skin folk and kinfolk. Let me go back to this damn page because it keeps sending me somewhere else. A lot of this spam, you know, shit keep popping up. Let me see. Barrow County Sheriff Judge Smith said that a school resource officer engaged Gray shortly after shots were fired. Smith says that Gray realized that if he did not give himself up, he would have been shot. No shit. They said that Gray has been interviewed by the sheriff's office investigators, and the GBI. Smith said his statements are helping our investigation. I want to know what the hell they saying to this little fucker, man. What was his motive for him to do this, and where did he get this goddamn gun from? And I just want to know, like, why would you do some stupid shit like this? knowing damn well you about to be in prison for the foreseeable future, let alone give you the death penalty. Because in this situation like this, if you can run up into a school and kill people unjustly and without any remorse, then they should give your ass the death penalty. You shouldn't even get a chance to even have a life sentence. You should be getting that lethal injection, no ice cube. Yeah, they took him alive, man, Rose. You know they took him alive, man. He's white. I ain't saying that all of these mass shootings and these mass shooters have been taken alive, but a certain amount of them have been like real ass backwards. And when it comes to black folks, we can't even walk across the street without a motherfucker trying to arrest us or shoot us in the back. But if a motherfucker can run up into a school and just kill people unjustly and just injure people, cause chaos, and the whole goddamn school district to be locked down. Now they saying that they got a call saying that there was going to be mass shootings in numerous amounts of schools within their area, but thank God that all of these other mass shootings didn't happen at these different schools. And I hate to say that the mass shooting happened at the one school. It shouldn't even happen, but you know, it doesn't surprise me. They did take him alive. The sheriff said that all 9 people who survived the shooting were shot in some capacity. None of the victims have been identified yet. They have not been officially identified yet. One woman identified her father, David Phoenix, as one of the surviving victims. He said that Phoenix, a curriculum assistant and coach at the school, was shot in the foot and hip. I hope he has a speedy recovery, and I hate that he had to go to that. I wonder, did he have a manifesto? Most likely he did. They probably find it in his room where his parents are at, arguing, overdosing off of crystal meth, just talking back and forth with his blow up doll. But most likely he had a manifesto. He had evidence, and he probably had videos of him just talking stupid leading up to this mass shooting. More of this information will come out very soon. More updates and details will be happening very soon. Y'all give me a couple of seconds. I'm still scrolling down. Yep, the suspect is he's in custody after killing 4 people in hospital and having 9 people hospitalized in the shooting. So you mean to tell me that this bastard can kill 4 people and injure 9 others, possibly injuring more people, and he can get arrested? It's crazy, man. Crazy, man. We live in a cruel world. A student describes tense moments shortly following the shooting at Apache High School, in which 4 people were killed, according to law enforcement sources. 2 teachers and 2 students have been killed in a shooting in the U.S. state of Georgia. The attack left 4 dead at the Apache High School in Wanda, Georgia, and 9 people were taken to the hospitals with injury. The GBI investigation posted on X. 14-year-old suspect Colt Gray. I repeat, 14-year-old suspect Colt Gray. And they're already saying that the motherfucker is white, because if the dude was black, they would have had his ass all over the damn news already. They would have been like, see, look at this little nigga. See, white folks ain't the only people who do mass shootings. Y'all niggas do it too. What we see behind us is an evil thing today, said Judge Smith of Barrow County Sheriff Office said during a brief news conference on the school grounds. He would not confirm that people were killed, saying that there were multiple injuries in the shooting. The incident appeared to be under control and students were being released at noon, a Barrow County school spokesman said. Local TV station broadcasting images of parents lining up in cars on a road outside of school, hoping to be reunited with their children. The school, which had enrolled nearly 1,900 students last year, began classes on August 1st. Sheriff Smith said the first call that law enforcement received about the shooting came about at 9:30 a.m., which would have been about an hour after the classes had started for the day. CNN, citing unnamed sources, reported that the school had received a phone call warning of the school shooting before it took place. Now I want to know if they can track that phone call to the phone who actually, made that statement about it was going to be mass shootings at these numerous schools in the surrounding area. Can they trace that call and see who made that call and see who, had that phone and who's the owner of the phone who made that call and made that call about the shootings. I just want to know, can they do that? The school district said they had no comment on whether such call was received, allegedly. ABC News quoted a witness student, Sergio Cadrina, as saying that he was in chemistry class when he heard gunshots being fired. The student, 17 years old, told ABC that his teacher opened the door and another teacher ran in to tell her to shut the door because there was an active shooter. As students and teachers hurried into the class, someone pounded on the door and shouted several times for it to be opened. When the knocking stopped, Sergio heard more gunshots and screams. He said that his class was later evacuated to the school's football field. Live aerial TV images showed several ambulances outside of the high school. CNN said it witnessed a patient being loaded into a medical helicopter that had landed at the school. Multiple law enforcement agencies and fire/EMS personnel were dispatched to the high school in reference to reported active shooting. The sheriff's office said. The FBI field office in Atlanta dispatched agents to the high school to support local law enforcement, said Jenny Celito, a spokesman for the office. The White House said in a statement following creepy Joe Biden, the U.S. president who doesn't poop his pants every 5 seconds, had a brief statement on the shooting, and his administration will continue coordinating with federal, state, and local officials. So blah 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 blah. In a statement, Mr. Biden said, blah, 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 blah. I am mourning the death of those whose lives were cut short, blah, 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 blah. Due to more senseless gun violence, blah, 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 blah. He called on Republicans to work with Democrats to pass common sense gun safety legislation. See, they'll work with them on that, but they can't work with them to pass an anti-Black American hate crime bill or to pass reparations. See, when these fucking mass shootings happen, y'all want to come together and sing kumbaya and just rub y'all hands together like it's fucking Birdman. But when it comes to Black Americans getting their fucking reparations, cash payments, anti-Black American hate crime bill, y'all can't do nothing about that. Y'all have fucking amnesia. But when these mass shootings happen, y'all be trying to do everything within y'all damn power to make sure that gun control is the first thing on y'all damn ballot and the first thing on y'all damn policy. But when Black Americans out here protesting in the streets, fighting for our tangibles and trying to get what we can get every day while we're working, trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents, y'all trying to say that we being divisive. We just need to shut up and keep voting. But when these mass shootings happen, y'all don't have a goddamn thing to say when black folks out here fighting for their reparations, let alone trying to get everything that we need to get, rightfully so. Y'all always be talking this stupid shit when these mass shootings be happening. I don't want to hear shit about this crap from Kamala Harris, Shane Sung, Kamami Harris, Creepy Joe Biden. I don't want to hear shit about none of this crap, man. Cause y'all do this shit every time a damn mass shooting happen. Y'all ain't trying to do nothing for nobody or try to change nothing. The United States have seen hundreds of shootings inside schools and colleges in the past 20 years, 2 decades, with the deadliest resulting in more than 30 deaths at Virginia Tech in 2007. It has interfested that pitched debate over gun laws, blah, 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 in the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment, which enshrines the right to keep and bear arms. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Hardworking citizens having the right to bear arms, because the police, they gonna be real scared to do certain things. A lot of these niggas are cowards. They don't do shit unless they got backup behind them. So me as an American citizen, I should have the right to protect myself by any means necessary. I'm not gonna give the right of my Second Amendment to anybody else besides myself and my family members and my loved ones, because they always talking this shit about gun control when it comes to black people owning guns, let alone the whole entire country owning guns, specifically black Americans, because gun purchases went up by 500% during the pandemic. You got a lot of people out here stealing packages around holiday season, and you got a whole bunch of Venezuelans taking over apartment complexes that got all type of guns. But you worrying about me carrying a Glock 17? You worrying about me having my gun permit I don't bother nobody. I don't deal with nobody. And you talking about gun control like that's gonna make a damn difference. Like there's not a black market full of people that can get guns into the country. Y'all bring everything else into the damn country. You think guns ain't gonna keep coming into the country? Like make it make sense, man. But I'm gonna be on here for a couple of more minutes because I gotta stretch my damn arms because I'm getting a little tied up and a little irritated with a lot of these crooked ass, Shang Tsung, wishy-washy ass politicians. They ain't bringing that to the forefront for their constituents, let alone the people who been keeping their ass into they've been keeping their ass into in power and political, you know, success for the past 60 plus years, and we still don't get nothing. All right, that's about it. But yeah, man, the moral of the story of this situation is I'm gonna need everybody, and I do mean everybody, specifically black people, black American brothers and sisters, to practice your Second Amendment rights. Make sure that you have as many guns as you can, because in dire situations like this, it can happen anywhere in a grocery store, it can happen at your job, definitely can happen at more schools, college campuses. You need to be prepared to protect yourself at all times because we clearly can see that the United States government got everything under control with these mass shootings, definitely got everything under control with police brutality, and definitely got everything under control with this whole illegal alien situation. We've been swarmed with a massive floodgates of illegal aliens coming in with their third world savagery and vitriol towards black Americans, let alone other American people. And you have the United States government, the Democratic Party, and some people on the Republican side, helping these people come into the country, opening the floodgates of these savages to come into the country to take my damn tax dollars and to get all the tangibles and benefits from the Democratic Party. And when it comes to the constituents, the foundational black American family, and when it comes to the hardworking American people that out here that actually want to see the country actually be great again, and actually want to see the country actually give the just due and actually give reparations to black Americans, people like my ancestors who fought and died for, the black Americans to get their just due and to fight for our just and to fight on our just behalf and to fight for, future generations to come. This just goes to show you that situations like this, you got to protect yourselves by any means necessary, and definitely be out here practicing practicing your Second Amendment rights and making sure that your family members and your significant others are out here protecting themselves by any means necessary. But I'm gonna end the live stream video. I might do a little Twitter. I might do a Twitter space about this on Twitter. If y'all haven't followed me on my YouTube page, Eric Johnson 1994. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that y'all subscribe. Most of the time, I don't even talk about stuff like this, but it just pains me in my heart to see, kids lose their life, like this in a school. You're supposed to be going to school for educational purposes, even though, the educational system in America has been ass backwards. You don't really get a lot of people actually trying to teach the right history, let alone try to teach Black American history. They try to teach our kids everything else about different people's history besides, Black American history. But that's a whole nother story for a different day. Thank y'all for looking at the video. Stay safe. Hug your family members and your loved ones. Stay strapped by any means necessary. Make sure you carrying your power tools on you by any means necessary. Make sure that you're out here practicing your Second Amendment rights. Fuck all the anti-gun advocates and the people who talking about we don't need guns, but you see presidents out here roaming around here with armed security, and those people out here are practicing their Second Amendment rights. So why shouldn't I? And the moral of the story is, you know, if you're ready, you don't have to get ready. And if you stay strapped and if you have your head on the swivel and you on point and you have your family members out here preparing themselves for war, then you'll be ready for anything that's necessary out here within the United States of America, let alone in the entire world. But besides that, thank y'all for coming into the live stream, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace out, y'all.